After many days of talking, the focus today was to be seen doing. The British Prime Minister seeing for herself where nerve agent turned would-be assassination weapon. Focus, too, is on how else to respond.
But what is important in the international arena, and we have taken this into NATO, into the United Nations, we'll be taking it through into the European Union, is that allies are standing alongside us.
For now, the focus is a show of unity on Russia, the consensus outlined in that sharply worded joint statement. In it, they say there is no plausible alternative explanation to Russian responsibility for the attack, that Russia should answer all questions and live up to its responsibilities to uphold international peace and security.
This is unacceptable. It has no place in a civilized world.
So a show of solidarity, yes, but not much of a showing of teeth.
It certainly looks like the Russians were behind it.
For the U.S. today, doing meant imposing yet more sanctions on Russia, but for election meddling and cyber attacks. But so far, sanctions haven't been much of a deterrent. There are other tools available, maybe a wider trade embargo against Russian products, quarantining the Russian financial system, to the more provocative, like further expanding NATO membership in Russia's neighborhood.
Are we prepared to bear a significant cost?
What would it take to use those tools?
I don't think that it's a case of we are where we are and the next thing will be war. There are things that we could do in between, but we have to be prepared to experience some pain in order to generate political gain, I suppose.
Beyond expelling diplomats, Britain is, at least for now, also sticking to barbs, not blows.
I think we have every right to tell Russia to shut up and go away.
Britain and its allies will be under pressure to do more than fist-bumping, to show teeth, to try to deter the next would-be state-sponsored assassin from haunting their streets. Nala Ayed, CBC News, London.
The CBC's Chris Brown is following this story for us from our Moscow bureau. And Chris, what has the Kremlin said so far?
Well, we've not heard directly from Vladimir Putin yet. He was said today to be in a meeting with his top military and security officials, leaving it to his top spokesperson to express what is said to be extreme concern with the, quote, destructive and provocative stance taken by the British. Of course, the Kremlin have floated all kinds of conspiracy theories about why this happened, who's responsible. One of the more popular ones coming out of there today is that, of course, the British may have staged this themselves, planted the nerve agent just to make Russia look bad and further isolate it internationally.
So why not a swifter, stronger response from Putin?
It's a good question. We have seen Russia hold off in the past on retaliation. It happened at the end of the Obama administration when the Americans brought in sanctions. The Russians waited until after Donald Trump was in office for a little while, perhaps to see if he was going to be much different, and then they moved. But Russia does like to react strongly to this. The foreign minister today, Sergei Lavrov, did say that they were going to be reciprocating by expelling British diplomats soon, but obviously that did not happen today. One of the conspiracy theories that we've heard from the Kremlin is that this was all done by the British to interfere in the Russian presidential election, which is coming up on Sunday. So perhaps the thinking here is, well, let's not do this and steal the thunder away from Vladimir Putin just days before he's about to be assuredly re-elected. Ian.
Thanks, Chris.